No.
You know why you don't?
Why?
Because I didn't make it live on YouTube and I'm an idiot.
Sorry, Mom. That's all she
Well,
knows. That's all she
well,
knows.
look, this is going to be a high treat for the YouTube people because normally they have to come into the starting soon and then they get to watch the intro and then we have to do the follow, like, subscribe. Now they just skipped all of that. Boom, they're
Ugh,
here right in the middle of the meat and potatoes. And
what a treat.
disregard what I said before, I can now see the YouTube chat.
You can.
Say hello to
Oh, I
Lucius.
see it
I
now.
can. I
I
see Genevieve
now.
over there and Billy Jones.
I do see Billy Jones now and Genevieve. I feel like I
You're a
should have
little
like
parrot.
I should I should have the little mirror. Like I might be dating myself. I see Genevieve. I see Billy Jones.
But I have a question. Do
Yes.
you see Lucius? Lucius. As we were yelling at John for because he forgot to make the show live for YouTube, so I apologize, YouTube. You can send your complaints to Comedy Jonah for that. We were talking about how I made great TikTok videos of say hello to Lucius in Sarah Beth's tears and everything, and make sure you guys check them out.
Absolutely. I
I'll have
can't
a
wait.
talk. I'll have a talk with John after this show about being
I
more
can't wait.
responsible and
I
making the show live on YouTube. It's the
I'm gonna
one thing
slap. I'm
his
gonna slap my own hand.
it's the one thing his mother looks forward to, and I
My
think there's
mother.
probably something going on subconsciously where you're trying to sabotage your mom, but it's all right. Thoughts and prayers to everyone
No.
in Louisiana. Before we start, for real, I know that sounded like I was being sarcastic, but I meant it. I not that you might not have electricity, but if you're, I know, I just had the hurricane scare and it was nothing. No, mine was a scare,
Oh, I
and
know.
their state is destroyed. Although I do see Jenny is in our chat right now from New Orleans, so apparently she has internet and electricity.
Oh, good. Well, everybody
So,
stay safe. I know my mom watches our show because she sent me a link today about NFTs and how this 12-year-old has already made over $350,000 selling them.
yes, and me, the person in this box next to you, explained how people make millions of dollars
Oh,
selling them. Even one of your
even a
stupid people in
12-year-old.
Seattle that paints honey bears on buildings.
Yeah, even a 12-year-old.
12-year-old honey bear.
Get busy with that. Gotta get a little busy.
It's
It,
as
it,
good. It's a lot. It's a scam. It's only as it's only as good as the people who are willing to buy it.
right.
We could just do a GoFundMe. It would be the same thing.
I want to know what this 12-year-old is doing.
You know what the people that are here tonight want to know about?
Oh, yeah, Big Brother.
Tonight's Big Brother. And
They're
oh,
going
they
to
didn't
Destiny, Destiny, Destiny,
Destiny,
Destiny,
Destiny,
Destiny. Yes.
Destiny. They didn't show so much on tonight's episode yet again.
That's how you start every show these days. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of the feeds today. This morning was really boring, just watching Ozzy laying there with Xavier. I'm just like, oh my gosh. But as I came back in the afternoon, I'm like, okay, they're getting a little much. But yeah, this was a great episode. I loved it. I loved
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I like the episode. The feeds were good this afternoon. I agree. This morning a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, nothing really life changing here. I don't think we're really delivering any shocking news to anyone, other than some of the stuff that wasn't shown on the episode. Again, like I don't want to keep beating the horse, but
Now
you know,
let's just
let's just
lure
not
the
beat
let's
the
just lure
horse.
let's just yeah,
Lure
let's
the
just
horse
bury the
in.
horse.
Let's
Bury the
bury the
horse.
horse and make glue.
There you go.
Like my mom
Glue
always
and
says,
gelatin.
When
Glue
the
and jelly.
sun shines, make glue.
Well, that's
She has dementia, so don't expect it to make sense.
okay, good, because I was like, Um, so we saw in the beginning of this episode, Kylan is still upset about, having to nominate and vote out DX. I did not think that they were that close, that
No,
he
he's a
literally had to be
sociopath.
held by
Yes.
Big D and Ozza consoling him, going, "It's okay." And it's like, what the? It was
We
weird.
we need to have a serious talk. You know, when
It,
the mic is here, I'm being serious.
but it was really weird, though. It was
No, I'm not
weird.
kidding. I need
It
you to
was
focus on me. Focus on me. Look at me.
here.
Do you know how when I say I think people are serial killers that I'm saying it to be funny? I think Kylan might be a serial killer, and this episode demonstrated it perfectly. He adapts the emotions that he thinks the people around him need to witness. He didn't give a fuck about DX. It's like he literally watched the reaction that Ozza had the week before and then decided to copy it like a true sociopath serial killer. And I'm over these people lying in the HOH and in the diary rooms, because he also talks about how sad he is that if he'll have to lose Sarah Beth this week. We know on the live feeds yesterday he's like, I really am not upset about it at all. I'm just pretending to care.
Right. And I think, I think it is tough because it's your plus one, and we heard tonight, Kylan talking about, Ozza had to lose Brittany and now Hannah had to lose DX. And that was all part of the master plan that Tiffany put together. But, you call Kylan a serial killer and you compared to him to the character in You, which I had to look up if there was another season because I love that show. But I digress. But what is the difference between what Kylan's doing and then we see Tiffany fighting so hard last week to save DX, all just turmoil, and then, no, voted against him. Like, what's the difference?
Because have you watched any documentaries on anyone like, let's say, Ted Bundy? Because there's the difference. He's a serial killer. He adapts people's personality and regurgitates back to them what he thinks you want to hear or see. His emotions are not real. The reason he has to talk so much is to figure out what emotion he's supposed to be emoting.
But yet we've got Tiffany completely trying to go against what the Cookout's doing, create all this turmoil, and then at the end, and we even hear tonight, oh, I just didn't do it because I couldn't go against the Cookout. It wasn't good for the Cookout. It's like,
she's
why
another
do
liar
it at all?
too. She's a liar too. And the DRs. But that's fine.
Can't
you got to play America.
Serial killers be liars as well?
Yeah, she's all of it. I mean, he's all of it. She's not. She's playing the game. Kylan, I'm convinced her.
What?
For example, okay? I watched him this was him talking to Tiffany, okay? I am not even lying. This is the conversation I had with Tiffany. Hey Tiffany. So, I just was thinking that, I was just, I don't know what we're gonna do this week, but I'm gonna murder this water bottle. I don't know what we're gonna do. I wanted to rip the water bottle out of his hand. That was him drinking water. That's how he drank a bottle of water. He choked the bottled water into the microphone and then angrily drank it. Which, look, I understand, and I am not making fun of him being, having ADHD, as I have it also. It was one of those moments where, and I've had this too, when you're on the controlled release of Adderall, sometimes a lot of the capsules burst at once. I feel like that happens to Kylan a lot. Like, he gets like a good rush of the Adderall speed and then like freaks out in the middle of a conversation. And that's what he did when he was talking to Tiffany.
Oh, I didn't realize there were so many similarities between I'm kind of glad I'm in Seattle. Um, yeah, I mean, he's just drinking water. It's too close to the mic. I mean, we hear people doing shit all the time. Just, yeah.
No, I don't think so. I'm just saying, he is a serial killer and a liar.
Okay. Well, this serial killer is in a new alliance called the Monarchy. We learned that tonight with SB and Xavier and Alyssa.
I'm being told by Denise in the chat that I have still not answered your question, to which I apologize. What was your question?
What was my question? Thank you, Denise. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Denise. Denise, who thinks I didn't answer the question.
The question with Kyland and Tiffany, like, what's really the difference? She abrupts
Yes, I did
the
answer
whole.
that question.
Denise, what was the question?
Why isn't Tiffany a serial killer? This is what
Yes.
happens when you can't
Yeah.
use all of your body. So look, I was very clear, okay? Tiffany does not take on other people's emotions. Tiffany does not strangle water bottles and aggressively and angrily drink them while having a conversation with someone because they are trying so hard to come off normal that they're like, is this normal? If I sit here and hold this water bottle and try and talk to you, then that must be what is normal. That is what is normal, correct? We are now having a normal conversation. No. He is a serial killer. Mark my words. I guarantee you, crime has gone down wherever Kylan lives. And when he gets out of the Big Brother house, there's going to be a lot more dead animals found on the side of the road. Mark my words. You heard it here first. And that's how he gets his creepy girlfriends. Oh, do you need help? Look, I rescued this
How
dog that I
could a
murdered.
serial killer's favorite food be popcorn? That doesn't make any sense. But
Burnt
I love
popcorn.
the crime going down when he went into the Big
Burnt
Brother.
popcorn, just to be clear. Probably because it smells like sulfur, which is also what blood smells like.
You got to be a chameleon in this game. You got to
Yeah, that's what he
learn
is.
and adapt. Yeah, and he's playing in the game. So, what I thought was interesting, kind of what I was hearing on the feeds today, him voting for DX to leave and the way he was acting kind of put some fractures into the cookout. It looked like on the feeds. Do you think there's fractures in the cookout at this point?
Yes.
I'm going to need some more energy.
I'm going to say no, like I tell you no on every show, but I feel like you're looking for a different answer. So I'm going to say yes, John. I think there's a lot of fractures with them. I think they're one step from falling apart. If tonight's episode demonstrated anything, it's how not comfortable X feels on the block and how Hannah's terrified not to play. The fractures are everywhere.
This is a show of you and I having a dialogue.
I'm dialoguing. I think that we saw it. I don't think that there's fractures, but I think we're seeing fractures in the humanity of people coming through.
Well, I mean like fractures, like as we start to get closer to the 6, I mean, it looks like Kyland's going to be one of the bigger targets, right? If they have to target someone first, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because he's already being accused of playing jury management, but I mean, everybody should be. We know Big D isn't. He's not even thinking any steps ahead, yet he predicts that he's made all the moves. But he blatantly voting for DX says he's playing to jury management type of thing, and that kind of to me was putting a little. I saw Tiffany was a little fractured by that. Like they were talking about it today.
Yeah, I mean, I think yes, there definitely are fractures. I mean, we know
Mm-hmm.
that the girls are against the guys, that,
Right.
Derek Frazier is more anti
Tiffany.
Tiffany, which,
Yeah.
looking at that scene though tonight where, he came in, he was like, I'm not talking to you. And I feel like, thank God they showed Tiffany laughing for 1 second because I could see people thinking that that was serious.
Right.
But then they just cut it out. Like, then they went to his diary room where he's like, and I'm going to come for her
I don't
because,
trust
we've
her.
been.
Yeah.
They were cracking up laughing with each other. The way that ended, they were both joking and laughing with each other. And Tiffany was laughing about it too and was like, I'm making him sweat on purpose. I'm going to make him think that he's in danger. Molly, you ain't any danger, girl. Like, it was all so funny. Like, it's just, I don't know. This edit, like, this is the first time when I can honestly say, like, God, the edit is so different from what's actually going on in that house.
So you're kind of promoting the feeds then, like if you've got the time, watch the feeds if you want the true tea, or watch us and get it
Yeah.
right here, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I just
Yeah.
think I don't know a season where the edit has been, in my opinion, so far off of what's actually happening in the house.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So speaking of jury management and stuff, we saw Hannah
Yeah.
really upset about Derek X. She felt
Yes.
guilty about not being 100% with him because she's fully loyal to the cookout, which is great and she should be. Do we think Hannah has, or do we think Hannah has DX's vote in jury, even after everything that's happened? Do you think he's going to kind of well, I mean, figure it out before he votes that, what, there is this big alliance, Hannah was part of it, and she wasn't 100% honest?
You know,
Oh, Oracle.
if she's there, then sure, yes. I think of course, he would give her the vote if she's in the final two. Do I think that she will make it to the final two? I do not. Until last night.
Oh,
But I don't know if we should talk about it yet.
we can talk about everything, and we're still going to talk about the episode.
Okay, so Hannah won POV.
Oh,
And after she won POV, we got another camera talking session from Hannah. Like one-on-one where she's telling us her real thoughts. And I was really impressed with how she is not just folding to what Tiffany wants. She was very much like, this is what I want to do with the POV. I need to convince Tiffany of it. I want to remove X from the block because that's going to build our relationship. I know he values loyalty more. My point is, I was unaware, because we never really get a Hannah DR, I was unaware how correct Hannah's reads are on people. I could honestly see Hannah cutting Tiffany.
oh, absolutely. I mean, I think Tiffany is super smart, but I think what happens when we've seen this is that it gets a little bit into their head, especially when they're HOH. So she's HOH, or at least was for a while. But still, all her noms and everything are still playing out the way she wants them. But I think it kind of, your head starts to swell a little bit, and you start to lose sight of how things are starting to change a little bit. And I think Hannah has really had her finger on the pulse a lot of the time. Like, she doesn't lose sight of that. Do you know what I mean?
No, she does not at all. And the fact, the other thing is, Kyland, of course. Would you like to be Hannah?
Okay, I'll be.
Hi Hannah.
Hi, hey.
Do you want to use the POV on me?
No.
Why don't you think about it again? Because I, cried over DX leaving. I don't know, maybe you weren't there for that, but I did. I know you guys were close, and I was wondering if you could use the POV on me.
Let me think about it. No.
All right, I just want you to understand something, okay? I really liked DX in the way that you liked
Oh,
him,
thank
okay?
you.
He
I
was
don't know
there
what
for me in the way he was there for you.
I
So
know.
now,
I
now,
know.
I was wondering if you would use
I
the POV on
know.
me.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Everything you're saying is right, but no.
Right. Okay, do you think we could have like a meeting and then maybe we could all discuss you using the POV on me?
No. I don't want that either.
Did you think that if you don't use the POV on me, it's going to expose the cookout and be all your fault?
No.
Do you know what being a little see you next Tuesday means?
I do, and I wear it like a crown.
Okay. But did you want to use the veto on me?
No, it looks better around my neck.
Okay. Actually, you're going to use it on X, but shh.
I am.
Okay. So, is a lot of that. It was a lot of him trying to get
Wow.
Hannity to the side note of this, and my point of bringing that up now, just because we're here talking about it now, is that I think that is a fracture within the cookout. It's making
Yeah,
them really notice, or what they would consider selfish or playing his own game,
exactly.
Kyland is being. So they're like, is he seriously trying to get up, like, to get himself removed now this
It,
week from the block?
exactly. That's not part of the cookouts plan, and that's what I've been saying, for weeks now. It's like nobody's sitting up next to their person. Ozzy
Well,
never
didn't you
sat
think that
up
was
next.
funny?
That what?
They said that in the DR, and I thought of you.
Yeah,
Which
yes.
Tiffany said it, but I was like, Tiffany, you didn't sit next to Claire last week.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
So
I
it's like
thought of you.
nobody's sitting next to who they're supposed to be. Kylan finally is. Now he's trying to remove himself. You're safe. Every time we see Xavier, which is so funny. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm the third nominee. I'm so nervous. Psych. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not nervous. Do you know what I mean? Like he
Of
trusts
course he's
the
not.
alliance, where Kylan is a little,
Serial
you know.
killer. Like serial killer, right?
Well, maybe a little. Maybe he's losing it a little bit, but it's like, why don't you trust that it's Sarah Beth? Like you even talked about earlier in the feeds, where he's like, no, I don't care if it's her or not. Then why are you trying to get Hannah to use it on you? You know what I mean? Like that's not making sense. Tiffany overdoing it, trying to
Because,
say DX doesn't make sense. Is it because there's just nothing else to do in the house? Does
well, it's
Oz still have the Bible? Like, what's going on?
he wants to be able to give Sarah Beth a vote. He knows that with him on the block that she's probably not getting a vote, just
Right.
like he did
For
with Derek
jury
X.
management, which
Yeah,
is
he's
causing a fracture. Exactly.
yes, but I mean, look, I got bad news for you. I know we're just jumping all over the place. This is like a live feed update recapping show. More on the live feed update. Anyway, here's my point. Nobody can really win next week except for Derek Frazier, Azza, or Kyland. Those are the only three options, really, of people to win next week, because the goal is to get out Claire and Alyssa. Either one, like have them both nominated. So
But
Tiffany can't win,
she
and
can't win
neither can.
HOH.
No, because then she would have to put up Claire, and Xavier can't
And
win because
wouldn't
then
have
he'd
her
have
vote in jury, is what you're saying.
and then wouldn't have her vote in jury.
Right.
So now the people left of the cookout that are we know that Claire is ineligible to play. So really, the only people that will be quote unquote trying to win this HOH Thursday is Alyssa, Derek Frazier, Kyland, and Azza. So out of those four people, there's probably a real good chance Kyland's our HOH for a third week in a row.
And then he puts up Xavier and Alyssa, or Claire and Tiffany.
Claire and Alyssa, and then Claire will go home next week. Because, it goes,
But
have the power.
nobody's putting up their other person. Nobody's sticking to that. If Claire goes up, Tiffany's supposed to sit next to her. If Alyssa goes up, Xavier's supposed to.
They don't
Do you know
care
what I mean?
about that. They don't care about that anymore. It only matters if you don't like the person, like how they all don't like Kyland.
Well, I mean, doesn't it matter too? Well, is it going to change their vote in jury? That's what I mean. Like, if somebody's sitting on the block with me and then they're in the final two, and I was close to them for a long time as far as an alliance, I'm probably going to vote for them. Do you know what I mean?
No. Don't. I don't understand. It's good. Why wouldn't he put up? Why? Like, I understand putting him up next to your duo partner. The point of that was to hide the cookout early on. I don't think they feel they need to hide it anymore. They had their first meeting the other day, like all six of them together in the bathroom. I tweeted it out. The live feed updaters tweeted it out. It was like a moment. Well, it turned out to be a controversial moment for Twitter, but I thought it was a very sweet moment where all six of them got together and kind of cheered and said, "This is the first time we're meeting. Look, we did it." Yada yada yada.
No, absolutely. And I think I remember what my question was, Denise.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Does Hannah still have DX's vote? Was that it?
And I also answered that and said, yes, of course she does.
Okay. There's a way to figure it out. All right. Coin of Destiny.
Destiny.
I was a little disappointed, I gotta say. I didn't think it was that magical.
Think if my eyes could have rolled back into my head any more while watching tonight's episode, I think I literally saw that I don't have a brain, and it probably came from watching tonight's episode that my brain just disintegrated. This is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. At least be funny with it, Derek. You're like, I gotta throw it. I would have been funny. I would have pretended like, oh, this one's a heavy bowling ball. I'm gonna do this one.
I would have thrown it. I would have thrown them down there.
Yeah. I would have been funny about it.
Throwing the comp.
Like something. Anything.
But when it's like, okay, the clock started, and he's just sitting there stacking them. I'm like, oh my, first of all, I'm just like, what, how come you needed to play again?
Well, again, and that edit is so stupid. If you're a casual watcher, it's so confusing. Literally, the scene before was Tiffany telling him, I don't want you to play. I don't want you to play.
She wanted him to play and then didn't want him to play.
Right. But, if you just missed it in the really quickly that he glosses over it before he accepts to play, the reason he's playing is because everyone knew he had enough money. If he would not have played, that would have been huge red flags for Claire and Alyssa. Why does he feel so comfortable that he doesn't need to try and keep himself off the block? So that's the reason that he played. They left that whole thing off. But I say that, and, not for nothing, and whatever, I'm sorry, I can't give them credit. The fact that Claire and Alyssa have nothing to say about the fact that Kyland and Xavier, the two strongest people in the house, are on the block, and the discussion that everyone else in the house is having with you is Sarah Beth has to go?
That's a really good point.
You watch the strongest, most physical threats go week after week after week after week, and now all of a sudden you think there's two super strong guys on the block. We're sending Sarah Beth home. That makes sense to you? Yeah, she did it. Moron. Every single week. Person in power, HOH, you're the next one to go. It's just like a cycle that just keeps going. Claire is so superstitious. She won't like sit in HOH chairs. She won't do anything that she thinks could lead to her eviction. Sweetie, you won HOH.
Right. We're going to know next week when you can't play.
Well, if you've been paying attention to what's been happening, Claire, the previous week's HOH keeps leaving, and you just won HOH.
Yeah, kept the noms the same as Tiffany, and Tiffany's able to play next week, but shouldn't win.
Yeah. I mean,
shouldn't win, but you know what? Probably will win or could win. Or would it be a bad thing if she won again?
I mean,
Tiffany.
Yes, it would, because the goal for next week is to get Claire out. So she cannot be the one to nominate Claire. So you
just get Alyssa out first.
Yeah, I mean, but technically she could just put Alyssa and Xavier on the block, but they're to the point where they don't want to. I really, I guess they can't tell them because there'll still be two people. They're afraid if one of them wins HOH. So I guess they've got to wait until they know they've got that last HOH to tell them. Mm-hmm. Although I will say, I listened Tiffany and Kyland talk for like an hour last night before bed. Both of them seem to not want to tell anybody about the cookout. They're pretty adamant about, we do not want to tell them. We don't want to tell them in our final two speech. We don't want to tell them if we end up in jury. We don't think we should tell them at all. Now, granted, they're having this conversation with each other, and they could both be lying to each other, because I think, like, honestly, if Tiffany really believes that to me makes Tiffany drop 3 spots on me thinking she's the most deserving winner this season. I would 100% put Tiffany above her if she does not think that explaining the cookout and her plan is literally her golden ticket to winning this game. If she thinks leaving that out, then...
Oh, what? If she's in final 2, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, no. If she leaves that, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, then go. Then you're not. Then
just leave. Just don't even go to jury. Just keep going home.
Just go home, Tiffany.
Mama Pat, I'm home. Mama Pat.
Say hello, Lucius.
I don't have my key.
I loved how I was like, they're so showing. Keep in mind, we haven't seen anybody else's HOH rooms. Right? Mm-hmm. This whole season. I knew that we were getting Tiffany's HOH room solely for Derek's reaction to the Beyoncé CD. I was like, if they even do the hint of who wants to see my HOH room, there's no way they're not putting the Derek Beyoncé thing in there, and that is literally the only reason they're showing it. And of course they showed it. And then they were like, look at my son. He's a nice, please. We didn't care about anybody else's kids or any of the other people. That was solely to watch the most animated Derek has ever been. And they wanted that in the edit.
Oh, my gosh. No, it was great. We've heard about Mama Pat. We saw Mama Pat. Finally, we got pictures of her.
I did love seeing Mama Pat.
Absolutely. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the Coin of Destiny again. I want to talk about a lot of things that you were talking about last week were the envelopes. Oh my gosh, production could just put any amount in there. And were there any surprises of any of the amounts to you? Like, did you think maybe Sarah Beth might have a chance to win Coin of Destiny with her surprise amount in her envelope? Do you think production, how did it play out for you? Were there any surprises for you as far as amounts people got, or did it play out exactly the way you thought?
Um, well, Destiny,
There you go. Stevie over.
Destiny. Okay. No, I am of the persuasion that production, and I don't say this, yeah, I did like a 2 hour kind of like live feed hangout show, and the Devil Woman Maximus Mom guested in. And one of my main things that I said was, I really feel production is doing everything to help the cookout now. To which Maximus Mom was like, that is such an insult to the cookout. Now, I'm not saying it in any way that is an insult to the cookout. I think the cookout goes, Tiffany specifically, and her plan goes down in history of like the Five Finger Plan and the other great moments in BB history 100%. But it is very clear to me production wants the cookout to be in the final six. We have never seen production lay out the powers and what they do for them ahead of time that solely benefits the majority alliance. You're allowing them to plan their 3 weeks ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is the biggest advantage. They don't give them competitions or anything that would hurt the cookout, which they could, like crapshoots or stuff like that. They're always doing knockouts and things that the large alliance can control. Production is, if I won't say, I mean, I personally feel that they are helping them, and that's not a complaint. I love it. Help them. I want them to get in the final six. I'm saying if production wanted to throw a wrench in their plans, they very easily could. Everything they are doing is like helping the cookout further themselves along.
Right.
So to answer your question, no, I was not surprised that that Sarah Beth did not get enough money and that other people didn't get it. Production was well aware of the plan to let Claire win it, which would keep Tiffany's nominations the same. I think production wants Sarah Beth and Kyland on the block. That's going to give them the TV. The one they don't want to have it ruined in any other way.
Yeah.
So no, I was not surprised.
Okay. I was I mean, Sarah Beth is a lot different than when we first started this journey. You know what I mean? Like
What do you mean?
I thought she was going to be a little mousy, a little, I don't know what I'm doing. She's a little more ruthless than I thought. Like, the cover of the book doesn't match what's inside. When she said that about America, about, screw you, America, you don't like me anyway, and then just her attitude even coming in, like she wasn't surprised. She got $50 again, screw you, nobody likes that. Yeah, like it's just, and then of course, willing to cut Kyland. Like, we saw Tiffany talk to Sarah Beth, like Kyland's my target, it's not you. And she's like, oh, I just really appreciate your honesty and thank you so much for letting me know, and then was willing to, and then the way she even threw Alyssa under the bus, like, girl, she threw her under the bus. Okay. I mean, she's ruthless.
She threw her all the way under the bus. I was trying to find the tweet so I could know exactly how I quoted. But anyway, my point is, yeah, Sarah Beth, you got $50 because as I tweeted out, I was going to vote for you for more BB bucks, but I instead decided to wipe my ass with it. like you told us to do. And then strolled into that room and acted like we should give you fucking anything. And then, just like, I don't know, who are those people that worship Charles Manson? She's the perfect little serial killer worshiper. And here's how you know that she's right along with it. I've never watched anybody wipe tears that aren't there, to be clear. Because if you watched, there wasn't one fucking tear. But here's Sarah Beth. This is just so upsetting. And did you know why? I've never seen anybody wipe horizontally while stabbing their face. She was just like, I want to know why you can't, and it's sad because... What the fuck are you doing? I'm done with her. I'm done. They can go off and kill people up and down the fucking mountains of Colorado or wherever they're going to fucking go after this. I'm done with them. Washington. They're serial killers. If I go missing, they're the ones that did it.
So Kyland and his Manson and Sarah Beth is one of the followers.
Yes. And you know she is. She's just like, hi, Kyland. Oh, Kyland. Oh, we're going to kill today, Kyland. Oh, Kyland. We're going to kill someone today. And nothing, Kyland. Let's start with Tiffany. Oh, tippy toes. Tippy toes.
I don't want to kill today. It makes me very sad.
Makes me very sad.
But I'll do it for you.
I do it all the time for you, Kyland. Kyland. I think tears come out over here. Oh, I'm wiping my tears. Got a tear in my lobe. Fucking hate her. I'm over her. I don't care. I try to be so nice. Look, I know how it is. I understand how it is in that game. I understand that you don't know anything. I understand that all of us will never understand what a mindfuck that game is to you. I really try not to get on board when everybody's like, fuck Sarah Beth, I said that shit. Like, I don't think she deserves any of that. But then there just are some times where I have to.
Oh no, it's getting tough to watch with her. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we know Derek F through the comp. We know Claire was just throwing those golden coins of destiny at that thing as fast as she could. And then it gets revealed, that someone won by 3 points. And now we've got the coin toss. Was that like some medieval
again the stupidest shit if my eyes could have rolled back anymore.
I'm watching Miracle Workers, the Oregon Trail. I don't know if you've ever seen that show, but it's in that time frame where they've just got things made of wood and stuff, and I just don't understand the contraption. And if it's from the 1840s, like a catapult, like a mini. And then I thought it's on the floor, and then we see Kyland's crazy face trying to see if it's heads or tail. It was a really weird scene.
Yeah, 100%. It was so stupid. It's so stupid. I don't know what more to say. Like, I'm more interested in the fact that here's what was more interesting than that scene. You said Oregon Trail. It made me think to when I was a kid in, like, elementary school and computers just became a thing and you played Oregon Trail on the computer. That was more interesting than that fucking coin flip.
Like on your DOS computer.
Yeah. Like the floppy disk.
Oh yeah.
The like big ones.
No, it was to see it flying through the air, and then it's just like, do both sides have heads? I mean, we don't know. And then
they showed both sides.
Oh, they did. Okay, my feed cut out. Yeah. So it was just, and then seated on the floor. It was just so weird. And then that's where my episode cut out.
Yeah, so, I mean, you didn't miss anything. So you watched, did you get to see the slow motion? You did, because you said
that's
Kyland reaction.
Was, my last thing was Kyland's face.
It was so just... I was like, why are we doing
The
this?
Oracle is speechless.
Why? Because like I don't get it anymore. I honestly I don't get what we're doing anymore. They need to speed it up. Like
Well, they are.
every
They're going to have 3 evictions.
but every single week their ratings just keep plummeting.
Are you checking the
Just
Nielsen ratings?
yes, I am. Just do the damn double eviction and get rid of Claire and Alyssa so that we can have this game
Yeah.
start already. We get it. We get it.
We get it.
We get what's happening. I was trying to find right now the clip of Derek dancing, but I'm having trouble finding it. I will just say for people, if you watch the clip of Derek being like, Beyonce, Beyonce, you've got to watch it back more times, and you will notice the little like little details in it. For example, Kyland gets startled when he starts freaking out. Like Kyland and then Kyland backs away slowly. Sarah Beth throws herself on the floor.
I have to watch it back.
You don't really notice it because I think everyone is paying attention.
On the is this detail on the episode or is it on the live?
No, it was in the episode tonight, okay. I'm sure. Or you can go look at the clip. I retweeted it. It's on Derek Fraser's Instagram. I mean, it's everywhere. Just go look at it. It is very funny.
Oh, I have to go look at it. I didn't notice that. My feed kept cutting in and out. Mine was all choppy. It was just blah.
Well, we got that fixed for you afterwards.
We did.
So I mean, it sucks for Claire because now Claire is in this position where she cannot play next week. What?
Eddie says, SP and Kyland are coming for the both of you. Hide. I'm scared. Now,
no, we should all feel very safe. And
I see is Kyland is Manson, and Sarah Beth is one of the women, the teen women or whatever.
It is exactly what it is.
Oh my god, Eric, that is so funny. You're like the funniest person.
There, laugh out loud. Okay, got it. I was just reading the YouTube comments. Okay, so. I have now a question for you.
Yes.
Do you want to be the View? Do you want to do a hot topic?
Hot topics. Yeah.
Because do you want to weigh in on what the Twitter was? What some, not all of Twitter, not the majority of Twitter, but what some of Twitter was complaining about. So, like I said. Yeah. We had the cookout. They were all celebrating. Yada, yada, yada. Things were said by people like DF. I'm not going to repeat them.
By DF, by Derek Fraser's account?
No, by Derek Fraser in the house. Kind of saying this isn't his time. Him and Helen can have their season in the future. So meaning Asian people, this is their time now. So there were, some people on Twitter saying this is what we don't like. None of the white alliances specifically mocked the black people as they were voting them out in the way they felt the cookout was doing, celebrating. So, I lied. This isn't for you to have an opinion on. So, let me be clear. Here's the difference with the cookout. And number one, somebody just posted the other day the clip of Clay and Shelly not letting Devon walk into their room alone. So that's just one off the top of my head of how they would treat people. However, here's the thing, and so many people have explained it in so many ways. I think the simplest way to put it is this. The cookout is not going against white people or Asian people or gay people. They're just not going after each other. Does that make it easier to understand?
That's how I understand it.
Right, like they're not targeting the white people or Asian people or whoever. They're
then,
just not going after themselves.
But then we get Whitney, who's white, who says something about, Derek X's crotch and calling it an egg roll that she said. But then we've got Derek Frazier saying that it's not DX. Maybe him and Helen can, have their time in the future. So what is the difference? Or is there one?
I mean, for me personally, what's the difference?
Sure.
I think intention.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that people are probably not going to like this. I thought the Derek Frazier thing was funny. He wasn't saying it angrily. He was saying it in a joking manner, and was kind of... Now, I know that's the thing that triggered people. They saw that and was like, the cookout's laughing that the white people or the Asian people or whatever are being voted out. That's racist. And it's just like, I can't take it serious if you really think that Derek Frazier... would be like, fuck the, other minority. It's not their time.
But was Whitney's intention bad when she said that?
I didn't hear it, so that one's hard for me to comment on. But I think my comment at the time was, I would feel however Derek X felt. Meaning, we don't know what the jokes are these people have with each other. Maybe that is something that they joked about when the camera was not on them.
We're only seeing 2 rooms, people.
So, if Derek is like, I found that highly offensive, then it's highly offensive. By the way, same thing with Derek feeling about the Asian comment or hell. If they're offended, then it's not funny. Then it is offensive.
So then if Derek F says that even though his intention was joking, but if someone who's Asian is offended, then it's bad.
And then he should apologize for that. And then he should apologize and say, I didn't mean to offend you.
Human beings are so complicated. My God. We're all mammals. Our bodies water Jesus.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, look, if people went back in the day for some of our shows, remember when you found out that you were Native American?
What?
And then found out that you weren't, but you really wanted to use that for the jokes for a while.
That I wasn't Native American?
I don't remember if it was that you weren't or was, or you found out something that you were, and you really liked the jokes that you got from it for a while.
Oh, I don't remember what you're talking about, but
they weren't bad jokes. I'm not. I don't mean that to sound like they were a bad joke.
But I am.
But you are so
I'm
great.
I'm a registered Native American. Yes.
American, yes.
I think it was the Ancestry.com was like I think they were still feeling stuff out, and so my percentage was a little lower than I was told.
Got you.
But now it's right up where it should be. Yeah. So it took a few years for Ancestry to get all of their, microbes and DNA and software together. So yeah. Was that? I think that was a joke. Yeah.
Yes, that was it. I'm sorry. I was reading Loss comment, which is not mine, in chat, and says, so is John's Native American name Lies with Tonto?
Lies as in liar, or lies with Tonto?
No, I guess it's however you want it.
My friends growing up called me Lil Feather.
literally thought you were going to say little fatty.
Well, that too. I was
You
a
were like little fat, and I was like, what? And you're like, father.
little fatty in elementary, a little feather in junior high.
Oh, that's cute,
Yeah.
little
Oh,
feather.
little feather.
Um, do you want another? Now, look, I was gonna say, do you guys in chat have any questions? As we're coming to the end of this show, is there anything that you want us to comment on? Do you have any questions for us? If you have them on YouTube, I can see that too. Now, I do have a question. I'm gonna leave the name out, John.
Okay.
But this person in chat says, why is it illegal to do the reverse cowgirl in Alabama?
I don't know what that is.
Because you don't turn your back on family.
Ooh.
I don't know what a reverse cowgirl
I
is
still don't
either,
know
but
what it is either.
I think
I
it's a
like the
move.
ending. I like the ending.
Well, if you understand the ending, then you have to know what a reverse cowgirl is.
Well, I just like that,
Oh, don't turn your back on family.
don't
Got
turn
it.
your back on family. Yeah. Hey, Google, what's a reverse cowgirl?
On the website dailynexus.com, they say, reverse cowgirl, according to Urban Dictionary, is a sexual position where the female is in a superior position by placing herself on top of the male and facing his feet. Essentially, no face-to-face contact.
That is the only way I would want to have sex with a lady, so.
But
Reverse cowgirl for me, too. Yes, please.
but always have your family's back. That's the moral of that.
Is the moral of the story. Thank God. Don't ever say you didn't learn anything coming to these shows, people.
Right.
We
Oh my
learned about
gosh.
reverse
Oh my
cowgirling.
god, that's so funny.
We've learned about it all.
My Sarah Beth tears. I'm crying.
I just can't. How she was so ridiculous. Okay.
You're so funny.
So, were you at all surprised with Hannah winning POV? Would you like to know what the POV was?
Yeah, I want to know what it is. Yeah. Because I'm not going to be here on Wednesday.
I know. Who's going to join me this Wednesday?
I know. I'm back on Thursday again.
It was, remember last season when they had that baseball competition and it was like all the pictures? Of course, I only remember it in regards to Nicole, but it was something like she had an ice cream cone in one picture, and then in the next picture there was like no ice cream cone. And then in the
yes.
was like
I don't
that
remember
stupid...
Nicole. I remember the first girl, Keisha.
Yeah, whatever that was. So it was that competition, which none of them got those giant versions of themselves, which I can't believe they didn't give any of them those giant versions. Originally, we thought it was comics, but no, it turned out.
No, I'm waiting for the comics. I like the comics when they're swinging and dangling and trying to memorize it.
Well, they were trying to speculate what the People's Comics could be today. Xavier thinks his is going to be Lucius. Say hello to Lucius. They think that Christian's will be a golden doodle. They think that Frenchie's is going to be a fisherman. And then there was a lot of jokes about, remember how Frenchie called Alyssa the bait? So they were all laughing and being like, she's just going to be Worm Girl. Like her comic will just be like a stupid worm. So I think that could be funny. Annie says, do you think they will do comics? Yeah. How would they not do comics? They do it every single season.
Still got a month left, Annie.
Molly says Big D's will be about him always sleeping, or narcoleptic man. They should make Xavier a judge with a gravel. No, they're going to make him Lucius. They're going to make Kyland the donkey. They're going to make Claire something with the...
I would love Derek X with the fan. Like, can block bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, something with that. Something with a fan.
Courtney says, will Nicole's record be broken? That's true. Nicole Anthony does hold the record for the fastest time ever completing a BB Comics.
Ooh.
So will her record be broken this year? We shall see.
We'll have to ask her.
We'll know what the time is and then can just see without asking her. I totally forgot about that, says EVOO. Yes. Thanks, Courtney. What? So, there was like 2 other points that I had to make about tonight's episode, and I've forgotten. I have forgotten what the other points were.
I see ZZ is looking forward to Zingbot, which I am too.
We don't have another... I think we got like another 3 weeks for Zingbot. Usually Zingbot's like at 6, right? I feel like Zingbot is usually at 6.
Yeah.
And speaking of 6, reverse cowgirl. I think that this is a great spot to end for this show, Comedy Jonah.
Curto. Fun show. I love the serial killer. Oh my gosh, I'm still laughing about that. And one of the Manson girls.
Yes, I do love it as well. Again, we already know what's going on. Nothing is really going to change. I don't foresee a lot of differences, in... Nothing's gonna change. Sarah Beth's going. Hannah's not using the POV tomorrow. Or Hannah might use the POV on Xavier tomorrow. I feel like currently they're more leaning towards not having her use it. Either way, it's not being used on Kyland. It's not being used on Sarah Beth. So whether it's used or not is irrelevant. Sarah Beth is going home this week. There's no surprise. Spoiler alert, Claire's going home next week. Spoiler alert, Alyssa's going home the week after that. So, got about 3 weeks.
But that's when we're at our triple eviction. Like, whoever that last person is, so there's a chance some of the cookouts could go home. We don't know. So that'll be a fun week.
Yes. Only if it's Kyland that is the sum of the cookouts that leaves. And take Xavier with you, because honestly, he's on my nerves lately too. Finally, John, I have one more question for everyone. You guys can let us...
Everywhere. Comment... Oh. Is that your question?
You guys can let us know in the comments section. I have been approached by a few people that are going to be, doing Survivor shows and watching Survivor. And,
September 22nd.
Is that something that you would like John and I to cover? Or me to cover, John to cover. But I think it would be both of us if we were doing it. I'm just curious in the comments section below. So comment, let us know. Are you a Survivor fan? When Big Brother's over, is that something you'd like to see us cover? What?
I'm a big Survivor fan. I love Survivor.
I know you do.
And I know you don't.
Something about Jeff Probst's face, I just want to punch it. And he comes on the commercials like, well, there's a new monster in town, and his name's Survivor. Shut the fuck up. Why are you on my screen? You're a misogynist. You're low-key racist. I can't fucking stand... I loathe it. Do you see how angry I am already? It's a commercial.
I know. It's a commercial. So, again, the question is, do you want us to cover...
Right, do you want us or maybe John and a guest and I'll just produce it? So let us know. in the comments below when you watch
comments.
this back. Because you guys following, liking, and subscribing are great ways to help support our shows, as is sharing them. And of course, at any time, tweet us your questions with hashtag YRRLive. We love all of you. We appreciate you tuning in. John, where can they find you?
Everywhere at Comedy Jonah.
Comedy Jonah. Hopefully on the next show I'm gonna have some new surprises. John will not be here, but I will have a guest. And I think our production value will be upped a little bit next show, so I am excited for that.
Good. Yes, and then I will be back Thursday.
And John will be back Thursday. Of course, I do hangout shows every single day where we just casually talk the live feeds. Check those out. Check us out. Check our previous shows out with your favorite house guests. And we'll see you guys on the next show. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.